On this special election edition of the Be Bold Show, the SKEGU Peace campaigners stand up tall, every white and we vote. I stand up tall and I'm white and I vote. Their fight for a peaceful elections 2012. Team Accomplish and how they are creating solidarity, starting with our young ones. We also have our weekly sickle cell update and peace messages from you, all on tonight's episode.
Welcome everybody to the Be Bold Show. Today is going to be exciting as usual, but a special one indeed, because we're discussing the issue of peace. As you all know, there's going to be the elections in a couple of days, and we want to make sure that peace is maintained throughout. So it is our top priority. And today in studio, we're going to have a few guests who are going to be discussing what they've been doing around maintaining that peace. And also you'll find out what you can do to maintain peace around this time of the year.
So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with our first guests who have definitely been promoting peace throughout Ghana and mostly the northern region. But before we bring them here into the studio, let's have a look at this profile.
The SKEGU Peace campaign was birthed out of a British Council initiative to see a revolutionary mental and attitudinal movement of young people in Scotland, Kenya, Ghana and Uganda. At this crucial time in Ghana, SKEGU has made one of its mandates empowering the youth to peace. The campaigners are conscious of the tendency for post-election violence and its consequences, following examples from the sub-region. So with the sensitive nature of some parts of the northern regions of the country in mind, the SKEGU Peace campaigners have decided to focus their movement there. And with that, hold programs that will educate the youth in those regions in hopes of inspiring peace. The vision of SKEGU is to redefine leadership by inspiring and empowering young people in communities towards personal, community, national, and global development.
So we've just come back from SKEGU, who are promoting a peaceful campaign. You've seen it yourself, and they're actually in studio with us right now to discuss further into what they're really doing. So I'm just going to do a little introduction. I've got to my right here Mutawakilu Alhassan, who is the Executive Director of the Northern Region. Thank you for joining us. In the middle, we've got Prosper Ahmed Amuquandoh, who is the leader of SKEGU campaign, Peace Campaign. And then last but not least, we've got Owusu Achiao Kwesi, who is the director, the director of finances.
Director of finance.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. And can we start off? Scotland, Kenya,
Uganda.
Why those?
And Ghana.
Now, SKEGU was conceived in August 2007 in Glasgow, Scotland.
Okay.
During the British Council sponsored and organized program called Belongings. Now, the main aim of this program was to explore identity and culture and impact global leadership skills into its participants. And participants were drawn from countries in UK and in Africa. Now, during the program, they put these participants into various working groups. And likely, Scotland, Kenya, Ghana, and Uganda found themselves in the same working group in Glasgow.
So does that mean you guys are very much in touch and you keep going together as well?
Yeah, we keep in touch. Social media is helping us keep in touch, share our experiences, and what we are doing with what we got in UK. So during the program, we put ourselves together, and we named this working group SKEGU, 4 to 1. 4 to 1 means 4 countries coming together and living as one tribe called SKEGU.
Wow. Excellent. Now, we are all about peace, but why is it so important?
Well, this peace campaign is all about love, respect, and then peace as it is. It's all about the creation and the maintenance of peace and love among the people of northern Ghana, where the campaign is currently been launched or carried out, and among the people of Ghana. Because when you sneeze and she doesn't take care, she catches the cold. So when there's trouble in northern Ghana, it affects the rest of the country. Now, back to your question. It is very important because, as I've learned from a proverb in my local language, that when your neighbor's beard is on fire, you have to take a precautionary measure and dip yours in water. Yes, it's true. We've not had, full-blown wars or conflict like what happened in Cote d'Ivoire and in Kenya and probably in Zimbabwe. But we don't have to wait. Like most of these conflicts never started as full-blown wars. They started as pent-up grievances that were not well attended to and were allowed to fester. Now, but that doesn't mean that we don't have conflicts in Ghana, for which reason campaigns like this shouldn't be there. There are conflicts. And the absence of visible conflict doesn't mean there is peace. There are cold wars among people in the northern region where brothers and sisters in the same community, in the same family, are involved in cold war, simply because they belong to different political parties or they subscribe to different political orientation. And based on this, peace campaigns of this nature are not just necessary, they are urgent and must start now.
And who's funding this? I mean, this must be very expensive.
Yeah.
To fund this, to go to the north, come down. Who funds SKEGU?
Yeah, actually, the project is being funded by GIZ, that is the German Agency for International Development Cooperation. They are funding the project.
Is it expensive to have such peace campaigns?
Yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive because you have a lot of communities that the project is targeting. Actually, it is happening in 2 districts. That is the West Mamprusi district and the Mamprogu-Moaduri district. It's a newly created district. So we chose 10 communities in the West Mamprusi district and then 5 communities in the Mamprogu-Moaduri district. And it's been difficult. But we're doing our best to send the message.
And why is it so important for you to be mostly focused in the north?
Yeah, currently SKEGU Ghana is actively working in the northern region.
Okay.
And that is why we have started this peace campaign in the north. Though peace is needed all over the country, but you always have to start from somewhere. So with enough support, we can extend it to other parts of the country.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about what it is exactly that you do with your peace campaign? So what happens when you are there campaigning? How do you bring your message across?
Okay, thank you very much. We started this in May 2012. After we've gotten the funding from GIZ, we designed a number of activities to implement the project. We started with an introductory workshop where we invited stakeholders like the political parties, youth and women groups, the traditional authorities, the Ghana Police Service, the District Assembly, to first introduce the project to them and how we intend to achieve the goal of the project. So it was followed with another workshop which gathered information. It was a data collection workshop. We sought the ideas and views from the stakeholders on what are the causes and effects of political violence. So we followed up again with a third workshop, which was a validation workshop, just to validate the information that we collected from the previous workshop. So it was based on the information that we gathered and some other independent investigations or research that we came out with a book called the Peace Manifesto.
And how long did it take you to come up with this Peace Manifesto?
Yeah, it took us roughly 2 months.
Okay.
Yes, 2 months.
And Chrissy, what's the feedback like? Is there good feedback coming?
So actually we are having awesome feedback from all the participants. We have a lot of stakeholders on board. We have political parties, we have individuals, we have the youth in communities. We have a lot of people, and the feedback that we are getting is actually transforming how they think about brotherhood, about sisterhood, about election. And we hope that our efforts will help to breed a freer and fairer election in this upcoming election that we're having in Ghana.
We all hope that, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that happened the other day, I was watching something randomly on YouTube, and it was about the election that's about to come on, and the way that the story was presented. Okay, here I am sitting. yes, I can see that there's going to be tension, and you know, everyone wants to win at this point. We have about 6 to 7 presidents and so forth that want to run. So of course the tension will be there, but I found that the way the video was communicating how things would be, which showing all the different types of wars that have been out there, and like, okay, well, who's going to win? It's between this person and that person. The final winner, like how, you know, it made me like, okay, well, is there really tension that I'm missing here, you know? And, you know, so in that respect, I want to talk more about the impact of the kind of messages that we send out there when it comes to elections to sort of help control the peace. Are there more positive things we can say or do to help the situation? Are there certain things we shouldn't do because this is what could happen as a result?
Well, thank you very much, Crystal, and that's a very important question. For the peace to be sustained in this country during this election, all citizens must play their role, including the politicians. You, as an upcoming promising journalist, you would have, and you agree and resolve to report responsibly. And we, the other citizens, resolve to behave responsibly. In the end, there will be peace. If the political process is understood to be a process of choosing our governments to seek our own welfare, not their parochial or whim's interest, then that will happen. If I understand, and you understand, that though I'm a die-hard supporter of a political party called QSP or MNN, if there exists any.
Maybe we should start one.
If you get to understand that what they are seeking is not just, should not be for them, but it should be our welfare. If it tells you, Crystal, get in front there and be violent so that my interests will be met, and you said no, I think peace will prevail. And if you understand that irrespective of which political party is in power, irrespective of which president is in power, after elections, it remains you and me to work so hard to build this country. You are my brother, you are my sister, I am your brother. So if you understand that spirit of brotherhood and love, and understand that after politics, it is about you and me.
Yeah. But I also feel that it really also boils down to education, because, I mean, this is something that also happened in Kenya. We saw it go down live. There was a group of young people, there was unrest, they disagreed with what had happened, the outcome. And it was just a small few who eventually fueled the entire nation to go completely berserk.
So with that being said, we're saying that we should all be peaceful and everyone is responsible for themselves. So what if that small group comes and starts something? How do we control the fire, so to speak? What should we do as individuals? If someone does something wrong, because right now it's like we're leaving the peace of the country in one tiny group that might disagree with the peace, and they decide to spark something.
But then that's where education comes in.
Well, let me take that first before my colleagues come in, if they actually want to. You see, the cause of violence or the presence of peace is not just the freedom from fear, but it's also the freedom from want. That is to say, peace encompasses economic freedom and opportunity. So, coupled with education, if people are given things to do, if they engage themselves physically and most importantly, mentally, issues about violence during politics wouldn't come on. That is one thing. Secondly, Crystal, we have to understand that, as I said initially, this country is for you and me.
Yes, it is. All of us.
It's for you and me. And the political process, it's about helping us, get what will make life easier for us.
Yeah. Well, I just want to see, what exactly is it then that you are trying to achieve at the end of the day?
So that at the end of the day, what we hope to achieve is that with these campaigns that we are running, we actually hope to foster an environment where people can actually vote without any fear of victimization. We hope that with this particular campaign, we will involve the youth, we involve the women, we involve the police, we involve all the major stakeholders. So by doing this one and having all the stakeholders on board, we hope that this effort will actually translate into something viable.
My last question would be then the obstacles that SKEGU faces? What are some of the obstacles?
Yeah, there are a lot of obstacles. Like I was telling you, we have a lot of communities to reach out to, but the resources available are not enough to do as we want to do. For instance, going to one community to take you not less than 20 Ghana cedi to pay for the transportation. And also we have to hire this public address system, which costs us 30 Ghana cedi every day. We pay 30 Ghana cedi for this public address system. And also sometimes some of the roads that leads to the communities that we go, they are not all that in good shape. So we face a lot of challenges in carrying out this.
I can only imagine. Prosper, any last words for the viewers?
For the viewers, well, thank you so much for staying tuned with Be Bold. And just to add up to that before I just wrap up with my final words, one of the other challenges that we face is the culture of silence among the people there.
Thank you.
We promote peace. Let's do this, let's speak against violence. But the culture of silence is thwarting our efforts. You see your brother or you see your neighbor actually perpetuating violence, but you keep quiet. I am not involved, or I don't want to be victimized. It doesn't involve me. But as I said, when your neighbor sneezes, you will also catch the cold. Well, to your viewers, what I want to say is thank you so much, and then for supporting us one way or the other. You know yourselves, we don't want to mention names to embarrass you. But we are also issuing a clarion call to institutions, civil societies, individuals to come to our support. We have started it in the northern part of Ghana, but it is our vision that we as SKEGU Ghana and young people, who are the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow, we will be able to create an enable environment where we can transform our colleague young people and youth into useful members of our society. Because if we don't do it today, the consequences will come to us tomorrow. Thank you so much, and keep watching Be Bold. And most importantly, be bold to say no to violence during, after, and before the upcoming December elections. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. I feel like there's so much more that we need to be discussing. For everybody watching, you can join this discussion on Facebook and on our website. But before we move on, you know, there are a lot of people who are dealing with peace and trying to set up their own peace campaigns. Now, we just want to say a shout out to Sam Aswaku, who actually came to us on Facebook and told us about his peace campaign that he's trying to promote on all our social media. So thank you for that. We'll definitely be following you, and please keep giving us your inspirational quotes of peace.
Definitely continue that on Facebook. Now, you do know that you can go on there, add your own messages and stuff. But before we go to, as we're going on break, let's also take a look at what Ghanaians are saying of the peaceful messages out there. So we take a look at that as we go on break.
I urge people not to fight, not to quarrel, because it wouldn't help us. Because I know other people, other countries knows that Ghana is a peaceful country, and it wouldn't move this country forward. It wouldn't help us.
I would like to entreat all Ghanaians that as we get close to the polls, we all go there and cast our votes peacefully, and then we wait to see the outcome. Nobody should engage in any act of violence or, let's say, any act that would bring us peace at the end of the day. So I entreat all Ghanaians to vote and vote in peace.
Yeah, they should be calm and peaceful. They should just look at other countries where there is a war before, so that this country will not be like that. We don't want war in our country. Just everything should move on smoothly, and they should vote peacefully at that when the time comes. Yeah. So all I need from them is that they should be peaceful, and that's it. They should vote.
Yeah, Ghana, my motherland, my brother man. We are on a race to another land where we have a plan to make.
Coming up after the break, Team Accomplish and how they are creating solidarity in society, and how you can too. Don't miss it.
Bold word, success story told. Maybe share a story on your own. Hard work, trying to keep up with the Jones.